Hello everyone, I am Dr. Valay Shah, second year radiology resident from Siusha Medical College, Surendranagar. Here I am presenting a case of the week for our YouTube channel Radio Academics under the guidance of Dr. Harshad Shah sir, Dr. Nirmala Chudasma ma'am, Dr. Rashesh Vyas sir and Dr. Naveen Mehta sir. A 40-year-old female come to our department with the complaint of long-standing swelling with recurrent non-healing ulcer and post-discharge. She has no history of diabetes and tuberculosis. She is working in a farm. Here I am showing a clinical image of the same patient. On X-ray ankle epilateral, it shows sclerosis of first phalanx with small area of lucency, which suggestive of changes of osteomyelitis. It also shows soft tissue swelling and multiple soft tissue nodularity. Images show multiple conglomerated hypoechoic nodule with central hyperechoic area noted over anterolateral aspect of right foot. On color Doppler, it shows mild peripheral vascularity. This multiple conglomerated hypoechoic nodule with central hyperechoic area giving characteristic dot in circle sign appearance. MRI of ankle reveals a heterogeneously altered signal intensity lobulated lesion is seen in dorsal aspect of forefoot overlying first and second toe at the site of swelling. On T1 weighted images, it appears hypointense. On T2 weighted images, it appears heterogeneously mixed intensity. On this proton density image, it shows multiple central hyperintense component with peripheral and intervening hypointense septa ending giving a dot in circle sign. Here I conclude my findings in patient of this X-ray ankle shows sclerosis of first phalanx with small area of lucency which suggests of changes of osteomyelitis. It also shows a soft tissue swelling and nodularity. Ultrasound images show multiple conglomerated hypoechoic nodule with central hyperechoic area noted over anterolateral aspect of right foot. On color Doppler, it shows minimal vascularity. MRI of right ankle reveal a heterogeneously altered signal intensity lobulated lesion is seen on dorsal aspect of forefoot overlying first and second toe. Set T2 weighted image show multiple central hyperintense component with peripheral and intervening hypointense septa and rim giving a dot in circle sign. With the help of imaging finding, I conclude my diagnosis is mycetoma of foot. Thus, these findings are supported by histopathology. Discussion. Mycetoma is a chronic granulomatous fungal infection endemic in tropics mainly Africa, Mexico and India. It is named after Madurai in India where it was originally described in 1842. It commonly affects the feet, hand, back and gluteal region. It is caused by either actinomycetes or eumycetes group of fungi. Clinical features. It typically presents in farmers who walk barefoot in dry and dusty conditions. Minor trauma allow pathogen to enter the skin from the soil and gradually form a discharging granuloma with subsequent involvement in destruction of underlying bone. It is important to differentiate between actinomycetoma and eumycetoma because of the different response to treatment. Meticulous diagnosis of fungus can save the weight-bearing function of the feet as well as the circumvent the need for the surgical amputation. Various radiological findings in case of mycetoma of foot. X-ray findings. X-ray show changes of chronic osteomyelitis with the soft tissue involvement, sclerosis, cavitation, cortical erosion, and destruction of underlying bones. Conventional radiographs are used to determine whether bones are affected or to identify the limit of lesions. Ultrasound findings. Hyperreflective echoes represent grains which is surrounded by hypoechoic tissue. Eumycetoma grains generally produce a sharp hyperechoic foci, while hyperechoic foci in the actinomycetoma are usually seen at the bottom of the lesion. Dot in circle sign in USG is similar to MRI. MRI findings. MRI shows lesion with low signal on T1 weighted and T2 weighted images, possibly due to susceptibility from the metabolic product of the grains. The dot in circle sign seen as a tiny hypointense foci within the hyperintense spherical lesion on T2 weighted image star images and T1 weighted fat saturated gadolinium enhanced images. The high signal areas seen on an MRI represent the inflammatory granulomata and the low intensity tissue represent the fibrous matrix. The small central hypointense foci within the granulomata represent the fungal ball or a grain. Biopsy with the demonstration of the characteristic features or staining and microbial culture of the discharge from the lesion usually give the definite diagnosis, but both are time consuming procedure and diagnosis may be difficult to achieve, especially with the fastidious organism. Thus, the radiological findings help in early diagnosis of the disease. I would like to thank Dr. Harshad Shah sir, Dr. Nirmala Chudasma ma'am, Dr. Rashesh Vyas sir, Dr. Naveen Mehta sir for their continuous support, and I would sincerely thankful to all my teachers, my seniors and my colleagues. Thank you so much for listening to this video.